The sun beat down on the ancient hills, warming the dust beneath the workers' feet. The air hummed with the sound of labor, the rhythmic chipping of stone, the occasional thud of a timber beam, and the low murmur of voices. Two builders, not far from each other, had embarked on a similar task, the construction of a home. One, let's call him Elias, was a man known for his meticulous nature. When he chose his plot of land, he didn't just look at the view or the immediate convenience. He dug, deep and patient, past the loose topsoil, past the layers of gravel, until his spade struck something unyielding, solid rock. It was arduous work, clearing the debris, leveling the surface, but Elias understood the fundamental principle. A house is only as strong as its foundation. Day after day he labored, laying each stone with care, mortaring it securely to the bedrock. His neighbors might have thought him slow, perhaps overly cautious, but Elias built with a quiet, unwavering conviction. Not far off, a builder named Silas had a different approach. He found a prime spot, closer to the stream, where the ground seemed soft and easy to work. Why bother with all that digging, he reasoned? Why break your back on unyielding stone when the earth offered such pliable convenience? He quickly leveled the surface, his hands flying as he laid the first courses of bricks directly onto the soft, sandy soil. His walls went up quickly, his roof soon followed, and his house took shape with impressive speed. Silas often looked over at Elias's slow, deliberate progress with a shake of his head, a faint smile of self-satisfaction playing on his lips. His house would be ready first, he thought, and he could enjoy its comforts while Elias was still grappling with stubborn stone. Time passed. Both houses stood, seemingly complete. The sun continued its daily cycle, casting long shadows across the landscape. Life carried on, and perhaps the builders even forgot the stark differences in their initial choices of foundation. But the seasons change, and with change often come trials. A shift in the air, a darkening on the horizon. Clouds began to gather, not light, fluffy ones, but bruised, ominous masses that swallowed the blue sky. The wind picked up, whispering first, then howling, a mournful cry through the valleys. The first drops of rain began to fall, heavy and isolated, splattering on the dry earth, kicking up dust. Then came the deluge. The storm was relentless. Rain poured down, not in sheets, but in torrents, turning the dry wadis into raging rivers. The wind shrieked, tearing at anything not firmly rooted, rattling shutters and whistling through every crevice. It was a test, a mighty trial, for everything built on that land. Silas, from within his quickly built home, felt the tremor first. The ground beneath him began to soften further, saturated by the relentless downpour. The sand, once so invitingly pliable, now began to give way, washing out from under the very walls it was meant to support. Cracks, thin as spiderwebs at first, snaked up the walls, then widened with alarming speed. A groan, a sickening lurch, and with a deafening roar of splintering wood and crumbling stone, Silas's house, built on shifting sand, collapsed into a heap of rubble, dissolving into the raging waters. There was no recovery, no rebuilding from that foundation. It was utterly lost. Meanwhile, Elias sat within his home. The wind raged, the rain hammered against the roof and walls, but his house stood firm. He felt the vibrations of the storm, heard its fury, but there was no tremor in the floor beneath him, no give in the walls around him. Each stone, laid with intention upon the solid rock, held fast. The foundation, though unseen, was unshakable. When the storm finally passed, leaving behind a drenched, transformed landscape, Elias's house remained, a testament to the wisdom of its builder, standing strong amidst the wreckage of what had been. This profound tale, shared by Jesus himself, isn't merely a story about construction. It's a powerful parable for how we build our lives. The two builders represent us, and the houses we construct symbolize our lives, our character, our values, our very existence. The foundations they chose, solid rock and shifting sand, represent the choices we make about what principles, what truths we build our lives upon. The storm, of course, is life's inevitable trials. It could be a sudden illness, a job loss, a broken relationship, a profound disappointment, or simply the daily pressures and uncertainties of living in a complex world. These storms don't discriminate. They come for everyone, regardless of our choices. What then is the rock? Jesus made it clear. The rock is His teaching, His truth. It's about hearing His words and, crucially, putting them into practice. It's not enough to simply listen, to intellectually acknowledge. The strength comes from the doing, from shaping our choices, our responses, our entire being around those eternal truths. Building on the rock means cultivating a life rooted in love, forgiveness, humility, faith, and unwavering trust in God's wisdom. The shifting sand, by contrast, represents building our lives on fleeting trends, on popular opinion, on material possessions, on our own limited understanding, or on a superficial faith that doesn't demand transformation. When the storms hit, these foundations, however convenient they seemed at the outset, simply cannot hold. They offer no lasting strength, no true security. In a world that often feels turbulent, where change is constant and challenges seem to multiply, the wisdom of the wise builder is more relevant than ever. Choosing to build our lives on God's truth ensures lasting strength and security, providing an inner stability that the outer world cannot shake. It's the ultimate way to storm-proof your life. So, as you navigate your own journey, perhaps take a moment to consider, on what foundation are you building your life? Is it on the shifting sands of temporary comforts and human understanding, or on the unshakable power of eternal truth? The choice, ultimately, is always ours. If this story resonated with you, or if it sparked a thought about the foundations in your own life, we'd love to hear from you. Feel free to share your reflections in the comments below, or simply take a quiet moment to ponder what it means for you to build on the rock. Thank you for joining us today.